Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with the Internal Revenue Service. Welcome to my YouTube station. It's the home of the 5-minute or less video. I can tell you everything you need to know within this 5 minutes or so. I worked at IRS for a decade. I've been in private practice for 40 years. I'm a national expert in IRS resolution matters. Many of you see me on all my national news broadcasts where they want my opinion on things. You can go to 777irs.com and see them. And more importantly, you can see my host of former IRS agents and attorneys there. I am an expert in IRS resolution matters. I should be after 50 years. Anyway, I do those videos for 3 reasons. So you can go ahead and hear the truth. So you can go ahead and make an honest decision about whether you want to hire someone or do the work yourself, which is fine. I try to give you insider information when I can. And more than anything today, I don't want you to be ripped off. I get so many calls on my phone for people and by people who have been ripped off by these big tax resolution companies. And people who are sending letters out saying they can settle your debt and, hey, if you owe X amount of dollars, we got this covered. We can definitively do this. Let me tell you, they're all lies, every bit of them. You know why? They don't know about your case. They don't know how much you owe, and they do not know anything about who you are and why IRS would want to settle you. If you receive any letter at all about anyone that can settle your debt, you might as well throw it in the garbage, because that's what it's worth. It's junk. I don't know how anybody can send out letters to people telling them they can settle their debt for pennies on a dollar when they don't know anything about their financial statement. They don't know whether they filed returns. They know nothing about them. If you respond to one of those letters and you get ripped off, you deserve to be ripped off. Because if no one knows about you, how can they tell you anything about you? Let me tell you what you have to do. First of all, if you've been ripped off, I have a series of different videos on YouTube that can tell you what to do if you have been ripped off. If you're wanting to make a decision, the only way, it's a bad lightning storm out here, by the way, obviously. I'm in South Florida, and the trade winds are coming right from the beach tonight and just blowing a bad thunderstorm, and it's kind of neat for me, bad for you. But anyway, what you need to do is, if you get these letters and you have a serious debt issue with IRS, you need to call someone. You don't have to call me. You'd be crazy if you don't. But if you're going to call someone, know these 2 things. Let's say 3. Know these 2 things. You need either to speak to an attorney, a CPA, or an enrolled agent. Why? Those are the only people that can represent you in front of Internal Revenue Service. Nobody else can represent you. Nobody. So you're wasting your time. No one else is allowed to talk to IRS on your behalf, and that's because you have to fill out a power of attorney for them to represent you. That's number 1. The second thing is, you need to give them a current financial statement that IRS wants. A 433F, a 433A, or a 433 AOIC. Those are the only determining factors or forms that IRS is going to use to get your offer and compromise if you want to do a debt settlement or work any case accepted. Someone has to review that form. So if you're not giving them that form, how are they going to know whether you're eligible or not? They can't. Many have this other form, will fill this, and they'll transcribe to this, but there's a lot of other questions on there they do not ask. So I'm telling you, if you get any correspondence and any mails, the mail is the biggest system of lies that you're going to get. Be careful with Facebook ads or Instagram ads or any ads. You've got to be able to speak to the person who's doing your work directly. One last tip. If I were you, I'd Zoom with them. Find out if they're real. Find out who they are. Don't have a conversation just over the phone. Get a good gut about them. I gave you everything I had. I'd really appreciate a subscription today. It's important to me. Because why? Because YouTube thinks it's important. It's important to me. Thank you.